What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be watching Japan's Strangest Unsolved Mystery by Nightmare Expo.
Monday.
You can hear it?
The peak is shrouded in fog. It's the aftermath of one of the most violent storms to hit the area in months. A search helicopter powers through the mist, scouring the region for a pair of hikers from Tokyo who set out the day prior and haven't been seen or heard from since. This hunt has been ongoing for hours, sunlight dwindling as search teams comb every crevice, yet find no trace of anyone around. But as nightfall takes its grip, enveloping the area in complete blackness, suddenly, something strange enters their...
Now, when we go visit Japan in the future,
No.
would you ever...
No.
What about during the day?
No.
Not during the day?
No.
There's probably some pretty scenery and stuff.
No.
view. Just south of Mount Asahi Dake, a crudely constructed, massive SOS sign beckons from a clearing. It's undeniable that the missing hikers have made this, and it's a damn good thing they did, because with conditions like these, finding them otherwise would have been nearly impossible. The team swarms the area with newfound hope that these hikers just might be hiding nearby. They search and search and search until finally they find them. About a mile north, the two men emerge from a cave. They are completely disoriented, battered, and exhausted, but most prominently are in complete disbelief that the rescuers found them. As they're pulled up into the aircraft, the search team reassures them that they're gonna be okay, before commending them on their efforts while out there. We couldn't have found you without your help,
What happened?
they claim.
What happened? You said look what?
No, nothing.
I kind of like the 3D, gives you kind of, what's it called? Visualizes the story more.
You guys did a really great job building that sign.
It's
The
not
men
even
pause for a minute, visibly confused. I'm sorry. We didn't build the sign. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Interesting. SOS.
But if they're saying they were delirious and all that, or like whatever, they could have done it and just forgot.
True. I feel like there's more mystery to it, though.
True. Oh, you're usually this. What's that called?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, the skeptical one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That music, man, the vibes. Sets the mood, you know? I said it in the last one, but...
You know, I'll admit, the island of Hokkaido is beautiful. It's a landscape adorned with volcanic mountaintops, trails with serene views, and a multitude of steam vents, giving the area an almost dreamlike aesthetic. It's no wonder that it's one of the most popular hiking spots in Japan. As no matter what time of year you go.
What's wrong with...
I'm sorry. You are never to take me on a hiking trail where there's a volcano or where there's like hot gas coming out from the fucking earth. You're not doing that. I'm sorry. That documentary on Netflix.
What about the
like,
geysers in like Yosemite or something?
No.
Or is it Yellowstone? I think it's Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, no. Just
But
no.
what were you saying though?
That documentary where like those people go on the island and it's like it's not gonna erupt or whatever, and then like some of them like burn to death or like their bodies were never found, and some of them have like life-changing, like, I don't want to say disfigured.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, like they
life-changing
got, like,
disfiguration,
bro, because it's hot steam, and it's just like,
yeah, your skin will melt off.
yes, and I'm like, dude, like, first of all, no, just no. You can watch it from a distance, but no, because those videos, like, different perspectives are crazy. Like, people who are
There's
really
this
close.
cool spot in the Philippines, like when we go in the future, but it is from a distance. Like it's like a park, and then there's like a little island that has a volcano.
No. And then also too, like the people who do like the hot springs, it's like, oh, it's like naturally like hot.
And you like that?
No. Yeah. No.
You like hot water?
Yeah, when it's from a shower. What do they call it? Shower head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to
What are you
be.
talking about?
I don't want to be in like. I'm not a piece of chicken. I don't want to be boiling alive. Soon we're gonna be like, ooh, it's getting hot in here.
I think it'd be broiled. Isn't it broiled? What's broiled?
I don't know. I'm just saying boiled chicken.
Alright.
You're bound to have
Let's
an
move on.
experience you'll never forget.
But no, I'm not doing it.
That's fine.
I'll break up with you.
That's fine.
Oh, that's a weird.
From the summit of Mount Asahidake, it was 2.6 miles directly south where the SOS sign awaited. Resting in a relatively flat wetland, it was constructed with 19 cleanly cut birch tree logs, each measuring at around 16 feet long. Interestingly, the deviation down here is considerably longer than the main hiking trail on the mountain, making its existence entirely perplexing. As far as it's known, there are no trails south of this mountain, implying that whoever built it had to have made their diversion from the north. A detour littered with steep cliffs, a dense forest, and even the turbulent Chubetsu River. At this point,
Oh, they
it's
had to cross
completely
that.
unknown how this person got here. And for Japanese police,
I'm not
it was
gonna say that.
undeniable that a mystery was brewing on the mountain.
What?
Someone is still out there.
Well,
likely
like,
pleading
I'm
for
sorry,
help.
pause real quick. Why is it when, like, these stories do come up and they're like, the trail was so, oh my gosh, I don't know how anyone could do it. There's, like, no way that the river and blah, blah, this and that. Dude, there's people who, like, will try to escape their country to come here. And that voyage isn't easy. I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of people don't make it. So why is it so, like, why do they treat it like it's, like, it's so steep and so, like, how he's explaining it. Like, I get it, it's, like, steep and all that, but that shouldn't, I mean, does that really play a factor into it? Like, how he's saying the
Kinda.
SOS sign and all that?
Kinda.
Because people who are coming here, like, some people...
Yeah, but think about it this way. Those, the people that are, like migrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have, like a clear goal and, like, determination to get there, so they'll do whatever they want. But if these people are just, like, hiking through here, like, with no agenda besides just walking, right? They like went out of their way to go this way. You know, he was saying that there's no trails that lead south to here, so they had to have gone out of their way up there, then down.
Maybe they got lost. Maybe they went off
No, I know
trail.
that's crazy though, huh?
Yeah, like you're trying
Or-
to survive. Maybe they wanted to see, okay, from up there, can we see a point?
Yeah, maybe
Where-
maybe it looked like, okay, let's go back down now, and then they go this way instead.
Yeah.
You know, like if they just like be looking around, like spinning around, like, and like, okay, let's go.
That's another thing too. That's a no for me. If you take them to like what's the park that's Yellowstone?
Well, no, I want to go to Yosemite one day, but I would stay on the main like
No.
driveway. No, like we're
Oh, in a
going, like,
car?
yeah, or like,
Oh yeah.
or
I'm
no,
not
but if you
hiking.
just do like a short hike, like around, I'm not talking about like deep in there, because in national forest, there's a lot of missing persons. No,
You know what they should have on them?
what?
Like everyone
trackers?
should. Yeah, everyone should have a tracker on them.
True.
That'd be so convenient. Even if there's no service, but it's just like like it just picks it up, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi up in that bitch.
For real.
1 day later, a second team is dispatched to probe the area for any signs of hikers in distress. This time, with emphasis on the wetland the sign sits in.
This would kind of make a
while
good
they
video
all
game.
held out hope of finding someone still alive, unfortunately, just a few short hours into their search, they'd uncover quite the contrary. Hidden near the SOS sign are scattered human remains covered in bite marks from wildlife, and nearby, a backpack containing various items.
Oh, that's sad.
A
I guess he is
Walkman,
trying to do like video game. Like
4 cassette
PS2.
tapes, toothpaste, a bar of soap, and a towel. At first glance, it's obvious that the belongings in the human bones are connected. However, a curious question lingered in everyone's mind. How did this person with enough energy and strength to build an SOS sign out of 19 massive logs allow themselves to die in nature? For the rescue team, nothing further was discovered that day. For what it's worth, though, this seemed like a pretty open and shut case. Locals have claimed that the weather on this mountain is volatile, with thunderstorms rolling in with hardly any notice. Perhaps this person got turned around, mistakenly made their way down here, and spent their final days awaiting help that never came.
Well, if they weren't properly closed,
The sight
too.
at the SOS sign and the story it tells is grim. But all things considered, this case, again, seemed relatively straightforward. Someone passed away here and built an SOS sign before it happened. The only question really was, who was it? And how exactly did they get here?
Because what if those two delirious guys ate him or killed him?
What's that? Oh, these ads. Hey, what is this?
The smile or whatever.
Haven't you?
Huh?
Smile too.
Oh. She wasn't even like smiling.
Two days pass, and examiners from the Asahikawa Medical University notify Hokkaido police that the human bones belong to a female. Reportedly, she was about 5 foot 3 inches tall, had
So
type
cute.
O blood, was somewhere between 20 and 40 years old at the time of her death, carried bone fractures in multiple locations, and died within the span of 1 to 3 years prior.
Oh shit.
Aside from this, there was no further identifying information about her, and effectively, she was
Consumed?
Something is wrong. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Because real quick, so if they're saying 1 to 3 years, does that mean like from after they found those guys though? So it's like they saw the SOS, they went looking for those, maybe those people just happened to go missing, and then they stumble upon this other body. Does that make sense?
Maybe. I don't
So it's
know.
like, we didn't even make that sign, you know? Does that make sense? I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
Upon calculating the weight of the SOS logs by utilizing numerous wood weight charts online, I found that 16-foot segments of birchwood weighs anywhere between 150 and 400 pounds each, depending on diameter.
Dang, so there they
Multiply
are.
this by the 19 segments this sign is comprised of, and we have a whopping total range of 2,850 and 7,600 pounds of total weight making up this sign. So, with this information, we're left to assume that a 5'3" female with fractured bones had the energy and strength to not only cut down 19 massive trees with tools that were never found, but also had the stamina to transport anywhere between 1 and 3 tons of weight completely by herself.
I didn't know
Let's
they were
not
that heavy.
forget either that all of this was done after taking a treacherous 2.6-mile diversion down the south side of the mountain, undoubtedly causing considerable exhaustion from the elements. Without help, constructing this sign alone is an extraordinary feat, a feat that doesn't add up given the context here. So was this person actually alone, or was there perhaps someone else that died there with her?
But were their remains? That commercial break?
Alright guys, before we continue down the rabbit
Let me
hole,
see.
I'd like to tell you about tonight's video sponsor, Incogni. Alright, so it seems like nearly every year now, I read about yet
he have a black
another
eye?
data breach. I mean, just last month, millions of social security numbers were exposed
So
in
I'm
a
guessing
massive
this is like
hack
a VPN.
in the internet for any
Is there a code? Oh yeah, right here.
and use code Nexpo.
Use code Nexpo at incogni.com for 60% off. Pretty good.
Or click the link below to take your personal data off the market. Thank you so much to Incogni for sponsoring tonight's video. Now let's get back to it.
I know, yeah, he has to bring in the info from those 2 missing guys, because I think
It's
they went missing
late
later.
at HQ, and investigators are scouring for clues. Of everything they uncovered, the cassette tapes seem to be the most promising lead on uncovering the identity of this woman. And so, they put them in their tape player and begin to listen. As they play, they're met with musical tracks taken from various anime TV shows. However, once they make it to the last one, something strange gives them pause.
You know the song? I forgot you can
Despite the
record.
bones being female, the voice on this recording, clearly in distress, belongs to a man. And the translation: SOS, help me. I'm stuck on the cliff. SOS, help me. I'm at the location where I first met the helicopter. The Sasa is deep and I can't climb up. Please pick me up here. Interesting. Aside from the blatant parallels to the SOS sign, I can't help but find it strange that this man uses not a single phrase implying that he's with someone. I don't know about you, but if I were stranded somewhere with another person, I'd plead for someone to help us, because
True.
we are the ones stuck here. In this recording, though, it sounds as if he's completely alone, unaware that a female is stranded in the exact same area, almost like, to him, this female doesn't exist.
And like I was saying, right? Like, a lot of people go missing in national parks, like, every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess it was, unless it's just some crazy coincidence and, like, you know, a few people are missing at the same time.
The woman who the bones belong to, and the man who the voice belongs to almost exist in a vacuum. Remnants of two people discovered in the exact same spot, completely unaware of the other's existence. The only thing tying them together, an SOS sign nearly impossible for one person to build, and whispers of an agonizing death. A sight of demise that we are years too late with uncovering.
Okay. I forgot we're recording, so we can... Almost okay, baby?
What's up? It's me. I'm Rio. I'm feeling like I want to cause some damage.
You should watch.
Rio's just Rio, so she's like, whatever.
No, people are gonna be all like... oh,
She's a psycho.
female,
You're welcome.
or what's it called?
I'm just gonna watch the show, baby. This is fun.
She is so fun.
I know. Okay, starting. Three days later. Now what?
Fascinated by this case, a Japanese reporter named Koyo Abaratani sets out to the site of the SOS sign in search of any clues the police may have overlooked. While uncovering anything new was one hell of a long shot, surprisingly, after they dug through some tree roots, they actually uncovered something. Just 165 feet north of the SOS sign and hidden under foliage was a large hole containing various belongings. 2 cameras, a notebook, and most prominently, a license. This ID belonged to a man named Kenji Iwamura, someone from Kanan City in southern Japan, over 800 miles south. This discovery was massive because for all anyone knew, this was bound to be their guy. I mean, this had to have been the voice on the recording, right? And of course, this man must have been associated in some capacity with the female bones found at the same site.
What, they
While
go to
she
the
may
family
be,
and they
up
say
to this
that
point,
that's not his
still
voice?
unidentified. At the very least,
Oh, he's
those
alive?
investigating this case
Ooh.
finally had a name. Kenji Iwamura.
Five years earlier.
It's the middle of summer, and 24-year-old Kenji Iwamura sets out for Mount Asahidake for a short hiking trip. He arrives at a small mountain lodge at the base of the summit and only plans to be there for a couple nights. Later on, he informs the hotel owner.
So do you think now his thing 5 years earlier?
His
So
was
it's like-
5 years earlier than
so-
the girl supposedly was 3 years, 1 to 3 years.
Yo, that's kind of interesting. I think it's maybe they're finding all this random stuff, but then they notice that it just takes place like all in different times. Like the tape recorder is like I guess 5 years ago, but then I don't know. We'll see.
That he's embarking on a hike, ignoring warnings of a storm that would hit the area that night. Hesitant, the owner agrees, and so Kenji sets off from the hotel lobby
No
and
hiking gear.
embarks into the great unknown.
Just a man with a plan.
As time ticks by, the sky darkens. The hotel owner becoming increasingly anxious and with no way to contact him to confirm how he's faring in this unstable weather. Hours pass without a word from him. The storm comes and goes. The clock approaches. Days pass without a word from him. Weeks come and go. Kenji Iwamura never turned up. He was never seen again. With the discovery of Kenji's ID, police were certain that they'd crack this case. Reportedly, determining gender from bone fragments isn't always accurate, and for all they knew, they had to belong to him. From here, they tracked down and contacted Kenji's family, believing that this was the final piece of verification they needed to close this case. Their confidence was at an all-time high, catalyzed by his parents later claiming that he was an avid fan of anime and that the backpack they uncovered indeed belonged to him. And so, at last, the police played the cassette tape for them, certain that they'd recognize the voice of their son.
Oh, here we go.
Unless somebody
And
else
as
found
fate
it.
would have it, by the grace of God, they didn't recognize this voice at all.
Yeah, what
They
if-
have no idea who this person is.
Yeah, because what if somebody else found it and was like,
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the ID and stuff of Kenji 5 years earlier, the tape recorder is someone else, the bones are someone else, and then they got those two delirious guys that they haven't even, he hasn't even talked about yet. So I'm curious how they
With no evidence of foul play, Hokkaido police, bizarrely, continued to run with their theory that this sign was built by Kenji Iwamura. They cast aside the consensus about the bones, the lack of identification with the voice, and simply
say
ran
that the
with
voice
it.
was a woman.
It took just 11
I
days
can
for
see
them to
that too.
close this case, and to this day, the mystery surrounding the SOS sign has been cast into the void of history, solved to them, yet completely bewildering to the world surrounding them. By 1990, the bones were re-examined, and the consensus underwent a surprising change. Reportedly, they never belonged to a woman with type O blood, but rather a man with type A.
Okay. How did they get that?
No idea. Maybe the bone marrow?
Imagine there's like multiple bones of like different.
Why the hell were the bones suddenly reclassified? Who was the man recorded on Kenji's tapes? How were these massive trees carried and placed by just one person?
That's true
And
too.
how were these trees chopped down at all? Taking a broader look at the landscape, we've established that the site of the SOS sign was reached by a diversion from the main Mount Asahidake trail. As we've seen, though, multiple hikers have done this. So how have they all made the exact same mistake? So as it turns out, there's an incredibly confusing landmark on the mountain. It's a boulder called Safe Rock, and it's typically used by climbers to orient themselves on their trek, as once you encounter it, you're required to take a right turn to continue your journey to the peak. Bizarrely,
Okay.
however, there sits another identically shaped boulder right next to Safe Rock, called Fake Safe Rock. Unlike the former, using this one as a guide diverts hikers to the much more dangerous south side of the mountain.
You should have
Terrain
painted it
littered
like
with
yellow
steep
or
cliffs
something,
and
red.
intense grades filled with a specific type of bamboo.
You know what it
known
gives me?
locally
Like
as
movies
salsa.
where they give you oh, you want the very scary room or the somewhat scary room?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, but it's like the less scary one.
But then it ends up being
Yeah.
it's like a trickery.
Mm.
Salsa.
In recent years, Fake Safe Rock has been marked with a rope to signal
Okay.
that you shouldn't follow it.
Yeah, probably
However,
now.
to this day, hikers often misinterpret it for the actual Safe Rock,
Put a
adding
sign
even
there.
further
I know,
confusion
yeah.
to an already disorienting situation. I'm sure you're finding this convoluted as I'm explaining it to you. Now imagine if you were faced with this dilemma while exhausted, in the wild, and completely alone.
Fuck that.
To this day, It's believed that both the Tokyo hikers and Kinji Iwamura made this mistake, leaving them both to be stranded and completely helpless. So with this in mind, let's go forth and entertain the idea that Kinji Iwamura was the only one involved here. Let's just say that everything belongs to and was done by no one but him. So it went a little something like this. Kinji Iwamura begins his trek from the lodge and makes his way up the Asahidake Trail. Because of the impending storm, it's possible that there are few hikers up on the mountain. He makes his journey all the way up before the sky darkens and dense fog rolls in. He encounters the fake safe rock, confusing it for the real one, and makes a right turn, leading him south. As the day bleeds by, he begins to panic, the sky darkening as his psyche becomes ever more anxious. He recognizes not a single thing about the path he's on, and it becomes rapidly clear to him that he's venturing nowhere near the summit. Completely turned around and with no other choice, he continues, following some semblance of a path, even though it's only heading down. Is he heading back to camp? Are there any towns in this direction? Where exactly?
I mean, I would think that even back then for trails, that if it's not really like flat and like what's it called? Like clearly it's a trail, then I wouldn't keep continuing through it, you know?
You know what they should do? They should just build a cabin like right down there and like with rangers and be like, yeah, you took that turn?
True.
Just be like, yeah, a lot of people get all turned around. And then they kind of explain it more for them too. I don't know.
Are there park rangers in Japan?
Probably not.
I know they have that out here, but...
Probably not. It's probably just an US thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I feel like there's park rangers other places.
I can see like Australia
True.
And stuff, but...
Oh no, I ain't going to Australia. But,
yeah.
Spiders?
As hours pass, he becomes more panicked and begins screaming for help, for anyone to hear him. He falls off a cliff on the way down and breaks 2 bones, and so, in immense distress, pulls out his Sony Walkman to record an SOS message and later plays it on repeat to save himself from damaging his voice. As he continues to limp downward, he encounters and crosses the Chupetsu River before eventually landing at his final destination, the flat wetland where he would build the SOS.
There's no way.
And where the two would inevitably remain.
If they're saying how much weight that was and how many logs those were.
You know, on the surface, this theory makes sense. However, when you begin to pick apart the finer details, this story rapidly falls apart. As we know, the only cliffs in the vicinity are up the mountain, and if these are what Kinji's referring to in his recording, assuming it's him, then he made it to the wetland with broken bones and in excruciating pain. Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he had every tool in the world, building a sign of this scale would take immense effort for just one person. It's been said that something like this would take 2 days to construct for someone healthy. So how in the world did Kinji do this while critically injured? There was no axe ever found. And why would he have one on a mountain hike anyway? On top of this, the condition of the bones indicated that he would have been incredibly frail by the time he passed away. There is no way this man made this thing alone, leading me to believe that Kinji Iwamura, perhaps, wasn't the only one to die there. Consider this.
I see what he's missing, maybe.
Kinji is on the hike, and somewhere during his climb, encounters someone else out there. The two are both on their way to the mountain peak, and so they pair up and continue their trek together. As the fog rolls in, the two begin to undergo equally critical errors, making their turn at fake safe rock and getting lost down the mountain's south end. Injured, one of them makes a recording while the other pleads to keep going, and so they continue downward, cross the river, and make it to the wetland where Kenji lies in agony. It's possible that this other hiker, for some reason, had an axe, and over the next few days made this sign with incredibly limited help from Kenji. Kenji knows he can't go any further, though, and so, in a final fit of desperation,
and then maybe this person gets lost, like going to go like try to get help or something.
The other hiker grabs a handful of supplies and takes off to find them help.
So yes, let's go the
In
opposite
a way, this could explain why police never found an axe. This could explain why the voice on the recording wasn't Kenji. And this, potentially, could explain how this sign was even made in the first place. The human body can go 3 days without water, and perhaps this unknown person used their last in a final push for rescue. At the end of it all, though, they would never make it, and instead would die a slow death.
Although a nice tool to have is like that filter straw, you know?
Surrounded by darkness, by wilderness, and in a forest. Completely abandoned.
I bet there's gonna be a wrench in the, like another, like, so that story like falls apart, you know?
Perhaps their body is still out there, but we just haven't found it yet. It's a tragic end to someone who may not even exist, but goddammit, it's the only way this story makes any sense. Kenji Iwamura had to have gotten help from someone else on the mountain that night. There is just no way in which he couldn't have.
Let's get that twist.
I refuse to believe that there was just one person on Mount Asahidake that night. The circumstances are just too extraordinary for one to pull this off alone. The broken bones, the stranger on the tape, the rapid closure, someone migrating literal tons of weight after vital injuries, everything about this conflicts with the reality of the situation we've been given. These theories, as far-fetched as they are the only way this makes any sense in my brain. And even then, I'm still assuming that someone had an axe, assuming that an entire second person was there, and assuming that this other person died and was never found elsewhere on the mountain. No matter which way we approach this, nothing makes sense without drawing vectors to things that may or may not have happened. And to me, that's what makes this incident so incredibly perplexing. The man on the recording never stated that he was with someone. And even if we assume that Kenji wasn't alone, the only way this story makes any sort of sense, it's almost like the two of them never even knew the other existed. It's like two people encountered the exact same spot, just on completely different timelines.
It's possible. But then what about those first guys?
It goes without saying that we can theorize for hours about what took place on Mount Asahidake and how the SOS sign, given the evidence we currently have, shouldn't exist. But out of everything, the one detail that haunts me most about this is the simple fact that at the end of everything, the police have never formally identified the bones as belonging to Kenji. And this is after they were reclassified to belonging to a male, after this story spread to the world around them, and after the mystery surrounding the SOS sign and all of its bizarre inconsistencies had spearheaded this into one of the most captivating unsolved cases in history. There has never been an official answer as to who the bones belong to. And to this day, nobody knows when the SOS sign was made. And who in the world built it?
Do you have any theories?
I thought trees you could tell the age based off. Oh, never mind, those are different.
Yeah, but wait, what do you mean? Like if you were to look at these trees and their age, but
I compare it to other trees and because they're not gonna survive long. They're not connected to anything.
I suppose, but that might be kind of hard to...
Bro, those SOS signs probably been there for fucking ever, and everyone just who gets lost... Like, if they're saying that a lot of people get lost and end up churning down the fake rock, that
the
fucking
fake safe
sign
rock
could have been there since the first person that ever encountered that. So it's just there for people who, end up in that area after going the wrong way.
Yeah, it seems kind of flawed. Like a flawed, hiking system.
Yeah, they should literally put a plaque there. This, do not
go this way.
Do not go this way. Go this way. You're gonna keep going this, or maybe make a little trail, at
least put
stumps
sticks
in the ground.
Yeah. Just so it's a clear path of okay, you gotta go this way.
Yeah, because those trails, I know sometimes it can be confusing. Any trail, because it's if people go down one enough times, right, it's gonna look like people
a trail,
walk on it. Yeah. Nothing's gonna be.
That's what I was saying. I was
there.
confused why when he did the theory, if he did go and see fake safe rock first and then took that trail down, I'm pretty sure the shrubs would have been up. It would have been no trail. I wouldn't go that way.
But since a lot of people go down that way, it probably looked like there's been people going down that way.
Oh, so it's kind of a trail too.
That's why
But in the beginning, he said that there is no known trail that goes to the south.
But what I'm saying is though, you've ever watched The Forest? I think that's what it's called. It's about the sister trying to find her other sister in the Japan's unaliving
I've heard of
forest.
it. Yeah.
That movie's trippy. I've only ever watched it once. It was really good. Trippy though.
Let's watch it.
No. But for a lot of people, I don't know if it's just for people who go there for that purpose of unaliving themselves. But they use the ropes so that maybe to find them after the fact, so they could get a proper burial. I'm not sure, but the way
they use little tiny colored ropes.
Yeah, but literally, I would use that if I'm ever going off the trail. If I heard somebody screaming for help, I would use it to.
Oh yeah, I would use as many markers as I could, cause.
Yeah, but I'd rather. But then if you're going somewhere like the unaliving forest in Japan, people say that. I feel like that place is haunted.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
There's no way that's not haunted.
I seen a video. Some people stay the night there, kind of ghost hunted there.
No. Plus, too, there's gonna be animals that are gonna scream like human beings. Certain animals do sound like women screaming at night or babies crying.
Does
at night.
Japan have predators in the forest? There's no. I don't think there's bears or anything, right? Obviously, right? There's no
I don't know what they have. Look it up. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. There's a Lucky in there.
Are there bears in Japan? I feel like it should be straightforward, but I don't know. Yes, look.
Yeah, there's pandas in Japan.
Oh, okay. Look, yes. Asiatic black bear and brown bear. Oh wow, it's these bears. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm stupid because of Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had that design.
What design?
That bear I just showed you. Those bears with the weird thing on their belly, right? Right?
Yeah, can I read this something real quick?
Sure.
In December, Japan's Environment Ministry revealed that 6 people were killed and 212 injured in bear attacks from April to November last year. NHK reported that this surpassed a previous record of 158 bear attack injuries in 12 months from April 2020. And this was posted June 21st, 2024.
Oh, wow.
So...
I'm just going to showcase the Pokemon that is based off of, I guess, real bears in Japan. Because I'm pretty sure they obviously take inspiration from animals that are in Japan, you know? In the Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm. This thing? Because it's not taking... It's taking for fucking ever to load.
Yeah. But just so the audience knows. But I recorded this so I could just put it over. But yeah, look. Ursaring. Right?
This thing looks ugly when it's evolved. I just looked at it. Whoa, that'd be cool. That one. That one. I like that one. Yeah. What if it looks like an actual bear? What, are the actual animals like copyrighted or what? I can't just like do a bear.
Oh, this is what you're talking about? I think that's like a mega evolution. I didn't know there was an... Because before it was just a cute little teddy and then like it evolves into Ursaring.
And he looks like he'd be an uncle that comes and beats your kids when they're acting
Did you see the first evolution?
Teddy bear?
Teddy Ursa? Because this one's Ursaring.
I love the names. They're so, like, they're so fun. Oh, it's right there. Pokemon Teddy right there. That's what it's called? Just Pokemon Teddy?
Well, no, it's Teddy Ursa.
Oh. I think...
Plushie.
No. I like Squirtle. I like... Pikachu. I like Charmander. I like Jigglypuff. I don't know.
It's cute.
I like the green one that like floats. No, it's like a green plant one.
That floats.
Or I don't know if it floats, but it's a green Pokemon. I could totally do that.
Here are all the bear Pokemon though.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Alright guys, that's it.
Yeah, this internet is
as this
sucky.
Loads finally. Alright, real quick, look at this one.
So you got your panda, your brown bear. What's red panda and then a polar bear?
Yeah, these are the pre-evolutions and this is what they evolve into.
Can I guess their type?
Sure.
Earth is the brown. Wait, don't correct me. Earth. The panda bear will be the plants. The blue bear will be like water ice, and the red bear would be fire. Earth? No, air. Air. Panda's air. Brown bear is earth. The blue bear is fire and ice. Not fire and ice. Ice and water. And then the red one is fire. What are they?
Let's see.
My stomach is growling.
No, I know. Yeah, look, he is. Alright, so this is normal type and then stays normal too, because sometimes when they evolve they gain like a dual type too. So it's just normal. This one just ice.
So what the fuck does a brown bear do?
And then dark fighting. Even the little guy, the little cute one.
He's like lucky.
And then that red one though.
Lucky.
Alright, let's end this damn thing.
He's fire, right?
Oh, fighting normal.
What the fuck does that mean, bro? What does that mean? So they're
it's
just fighting
type and normal type.
So they just punch you?
Well, no. Pokemon can learn different moves too.
So what's their powers though, bro? Like they shoot water or something? They fly? What do they do?
Normal type?
Whatever. What's their powers?
What do you mean what's their powers?
What do they shoot out of their hands?
They don't shoot anything out their hands.
Boring.
They're mostly physical. They're not like
boring.
Yeah. Anyway, can we end this?
Yeah.
Shit's pissing me off. I gotta like figure this shit out.
Alright,
let's do a quick outro.
Yes.
Alright guys, that's it. We'll see you all in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.